Hi everyone and welcome to LL Sports and News. Thank you guys for watching this video I'm about to make, and I hope you will like, share and subscribe to the channel, and please keep the support going. Wow, I have to take a deep breath for this one. Where do I start? I mean, AJ versus Dubois, or Daniel Dubois versus AJ at Wembley, 96,000. Daniel Dubois defending his IBF heavyweight title, and wow, what a performance he put in tonight. I'm gobsmacked. Look, I can hardly get the words out. I really am in a state of shock. I can't believe what I've seen tonight, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are probably feeling the same. I mean, I've got to say right from the outset, we did a watch-along in the DR Sports studio with myself, Robbie, Expressions, and Daryl from Boxing Lowdown. And we all predicted that AJ was going to win. I predicted that AJ would win by the 10th round. I did a video you may have seen earlier in the week where I said that AJ would win, but he would have to go through some adversity. I think I even said that he might even have to get off the floor. But never did I think he would get bounced up and down the canvas and so thoroughly beaten up. And let's be honest, man, it was absolutely comprehensive. He got beat from pillar to post tonight. I've got to say that AJ, in his loss, he showed a lot of heart, a lot of bravery, a lot of guts. So I'll give him enough credit for that. But in terms of his performance, it was one of the worst performances I've seen from him in terms of a boxing perspective. The man had his hands down by his waist pretty much the whole fight. He had no defense. He looked terrible, I've got to admit. But then if I go down that route, then I wouldn't be giving Daniel Dubois enough credit. Let me just say, what a tremendous performance by Daniel Dubois. He was amazing tonight. I mean, I noticed his energy coming into the ring. He came to the ring first, which is the wrong way around, really, because he's the champion. He should really have come second. But anyway, he came to the ring first, and straight away I noticed his energy. He looked relaxed, but he also looked keyed up. He was, you know what I mean, getting himself going, egging himself on the way to the ring, talking to himself, geeing himself up. And I thought, oh, this man looks on it tonight. By contrast, AJ looked nervous to me, and I actually said that on the stream. There wasn't much in the way of facial expression. He wasn't geeing himself up. He exuded a certain type of calmness, if you like, but it wasn't the right type of calmness for me. He looked a bit on edge. He looked nervous. And that kind of played itself out in the first round. The first round, he looked sloppy. He looked slow. Straight away, Daniel Dubois came across, established center of the ring. We call it real estate. He got in the middle of the ring and he stayed there, worked behind the jab. By round one, he'd blooded AJ's nose and had him on the back foot. And of course, he dropped him, and he dropped him quite heavily. And from then on, the fight was pretty much done. AJ never really got his legs back under him. He looked tentative. He looked nervous. He just couldn't get anything going in the way of offense. Meanwhile, his defense was shipping blows, man. Serious blows as well. Dubois can punch. We all know that. Well, both of them can punch. But Dubois tonight, not only did he have the big punch, but he had the aggression, he had the hand speed, and he was far more on it tonight. I mean, for want of a better word, he just looked way more on it than AJ did. AJ, like I said, he showed a lot of heart, a lot of bottle. You can't doubt him on that perspective, but he looked a thoroughly beaten man tonight, man. I've got to say that. I mean, I've lost count of the amount of times he got knocked down tonight. And I've lost count of the amount of times he was rocked. There were several moments in that fight. Even when he didn't go down, he was rocked to his boots. I saw him hurt by jabs on a few occasions as well. It was a horrible night for him, man. And I'm going to say this, man. I've got a lot of love for AJ, right? He's been responsible for some of my best nights in boxing, going right back to when he won the title by knocking out Charles Martin in a couple of rounds, way back, the Klitschko moments. You know what I mean? He's been a great fighter. I love him as a person, but I'm going to say this, and I'm saying it out of love. I think AJ now needs to retire. I'm seeing in the socials where Eddie Hearn, his promoter, who, by the way, looked more upset than AJ did, as well he might be. To me, that Tyson Fury fight, I'm not sure if I want to see that. I definitely don't want to see a rematch with Dubois, although I'm hearing through the socials, like I said, and through the grapevine, that Eddie Hearn saying that they'll exercise a rematch clause. Now, I was arguing with my boy Expressions and Robbie. They'd say they'd like to see a rematch, but would you really? I mean, come on now, man. I mean, he was totally dominated from round 1 through to when he got knocked out, face first, by the way, in round 5. He wasn't really competitive. He was just hanging in there, hoping to land a big blow. And indeed, when he got knocked out, that was just after he'd landed a pretty decent punch on Dubois that backed Dubois up. Got Dubois to the corner, tried to land again, got beaten to the punch, got steadied by a right hand, didn't move his head as he had not been doing all night, and that got taken out by another monster right hand, fell face first, and that was all she wrote. So what I'm about to say is, man, and listen, I don't enjoy saying this because I've been a massive AJ fan. I've been following this guy since he was an amateur, and I saw him in world championships as a young man, 19 years old. I saw him win Olympic gold in London 2012. I've been following this man for a long time now, but I do think it's time for him to retire. Like I said, I'm saying that out of love. He's done everything. He's been a 2-time world champion. He's pretty much carried British boxing on his back for a period. He's made masses and masses of money. You know what I mean? I don't think him fighting on now, it will be a good thing. I want him to retire and enjoy his money, enjoy everything he built in his career. He can serve as an inspiration to fighters coming up. He can be a promoter, manager, trainer, whatever he wants to do, he can do. But I don't want to see him fight again. I think tonight's beating was a beating too far. I mean, people will say to me, yeah, but he came back after he lost to Ruiz and he beat Ruiz. But this was a different type of knocking out, man. You know what I mean? When he fought Ruiz, he was actually doing okay in that fight. He floored Ruiz and then he walked onto one. His equilibrium got scrambled. And yes, he got stopped. But it was totally different to tonight. Tonight, he got beaten up and then brutally knocked out. 2 separately different things. He's 34 years old. I don't want to see a man, you know what I mean, with his cognitive functions declining in later years because he took one fight too many. A guy like AJ, he's not going to come back and fight your run-of-the-mill guys. He's going to want to fight at the top. He's not going to get motivated for fighting guys of a much lesser standard. And I don't think people will really pay to see that. You know what I mean? So I would like to see him hang them up. And like I said, I'm saying that out of love as somebody who loves and respects AJ. I want to see him retire because tonight there were some worrying signs for me. Every time he got caught, he got wobbled. He looked out of it. He didn't seem to know what to do. And to me, that is very worrying. At 34, with millions in the bank, you don't really need that. As for Dubois, sky's the limit. I mean, what a performance, by the way. I mean, I did say that Dubois was a big puncher. I said, this guy's got a ramrod jab, one of the best jabs in the heavyweight division, if not the best. He's also been through his adverse moments. You know what I mean? People said he quit against Joe Joyce, which he did, but I always defended that decision to do that because my reasoning behind that is he will live to fight another day. And look how right I've been proved by that, by the way. When he quit, people said, oh, he'll never become a champion because once a quitter, always a quitter. Look what he's done since then. I mean, some people would say he quit afterwards in the fight against Usyk. When, if you remember, he floored Usyk with a body shot that was called low. I didn't think it was low, but anyway, they said it was low. Usyk, to be fair, got up and dominated him. And people said then that, you know, this man's a quitter. He will never come back. Then we had the wins against Jarrell Miller and Hrgovic. Now this devastating win against AJ. Sky's the limit. And let's see him fight the winner of Fury versus Usyk. I know Usyk would have already beaten him if Usyk beats Fury. But listen, this revitalized version of Daniel Dubois, you couldn't write him out totally. You know what I mean? He's only 27. You know what I mean? He's still a baby as far as heavyweights are concerned. But he looks the real deal, no doubt about it. So props to him. Brilliant performance from him. AJ showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of guts, but ultimately was completely and thoroughly dominated. And me personally, I'd like to see him retire. But that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe. Support the channel. As I said to you last week when I did my previous video, we're going to be doing lots of collaborations. We're going to have lots of people on the channel airing their views about all sorts of different things. There's other big fights coming up in the future. And also, I'll be covering football as well. You'll probably know that I'm a big Arsenal fan. And listen, maybe Arsenal can take heart from that because Dubois was the underdog today. And look what he did to AJ. Arsenal fans will be thinking, can Arsenal rock up at the Etihad and do to City what Daniel Dubois did to AJ tonight? But thanks again. See you soon. Thank you so much for your support.